All right, I'm gonna try this again. Hopefully, everybody can hear me now. All right, I had an audio driver issue. So now I have to ask, can you hear me now? The evil robots of YouTube or whatever hit me. Actually, is the audio driver. Sometimes my audio drivers just don't want to do their job, and they there we go. I can hear me fine. Okay, good. For some reason, I could hear everything and nobody else could. It was my audio drivers. I have this issue with this computer once in a while. I want to pick things up, and it notifications of a Twitterverse there, so people can do that, and hopefully they can join in. I do appreciate the people that hopped in, and I apologize for what happened there. All right, and I seen this article this morning, and boy, the Mary Sue does a great job of just making me scratch my head. I think anybody with a brain in their head sees the Mary Sue and they wonder what the heck is going on in their life. But I seen this article, and this article is something that that really hits me and it hits home. And this is a tough one to me, so I'm turning it up a little bit because some people said they wanted to hear it a little bit better. All right, and this particular subject to me really, really hits home. Okay, it's a personal one to me, so I just want to share it. I've been wanting to do more live streams too, but I just unfortunately life has been beating me up a lot lately. So I haven't been able to do it. This one ain't gonna be real long, but I just wanted to hop in there and do it and start making the presence known. Just if anyone wants to help the channel out, by the way, I have a link down below. You can, or you go right here in Streamlabs. You can click the Streamlabs link and it'll give you a shout out on the system and everything to help support me to get a better computer. So hopefully less of this crap will happen. But anyway, so this issue has really hits home with me. In this article, it says Hollywood reacts to Georgia's horrifying abortion ban. And I want to point out right off the bat, they have to have in the title horrifying. So you can already tell how this is slanted and where this is going. So it's problematic right from the start. This was by Kate Gardner at 5:03 p.m. May 8th, 2019. And the part that bugs me about this is we have now the Hollywood elite, which thinks they're so above everybody else that their thoughts and their views on things should mean more than ours. And it's, in my opinion, it's very problematic. I don't like this idea at all of how they behave and how they think they're so wonderful compared to all of us. But so anyway, well, I'm going to tell you a little bit first, just to preface this, of why I feel the way I do. And people can be different points of view on this, okay? And I understand that. My point here is not to preach to you or anything of that nature. I'm going to share my views because I believe in them fully, and you have the right to disagree if you like to. But I'm going to explain part of the reason why my views are the way they are. One is I've made it well known. I don't hide it that I am a Christian and I have fundamental beliefs and I'm not perfect and I make mistakes. But the other one here, and this is probably one of the biggest reasons, is my past history led me to have my belief system that I do. And just so you know, the people that want to jump out there, women, and then you're misogynist and all that. Let me tell you right off the bat, my mother was my hero. Okay, it still is. I looked up to what she did in her life and the challenges she stood up to and never back down from. So bear that in mind. And when my mother became pregnant with my younger brother is 7 years younger than me. So anyway, she was told she was pregnant with him, but unfortunately the doctors didn't give her a good diagnosis. They said, this is not going to be good. They said that to my mom, they said, your son is either not going to make it or he's going to be a large amount of retardation and possible physical deformities. They just said it was not going to be good. And on the other end, it's going to be very hard on you. You might even die during this. They said really most likely either you're going to die and he's going to be born really bad, or the combination. You're going to die giving birth and he's going to be in a bad way. Now, I have doctors in the family too, and they can tell you doctors are not always right. And this kind of thing is there's a lot of speculation. They can't always predict everything that's going to happen with the child. And my mother could have easily said, this is going to be too much of a burden, or is this too much of a risk on me, and I'm not going to have this child. And if that was the case, I would never have the brother that I have today. But instead, she said, no, I got pregnant, and I'm going to take the responsibility, and I'm going to have this child no matter what happens. And she had that child, and my little brother was perfectly fine, absolutely nothing wrong. He's physically well, mentally was great. My mother had a hard. It was hard on my mother, but she didn't die. She survived, and so my thought out of that is this: is that would have been killing the kid. That's what my thought. She literally said, "I'm not going to kill my child so that I can live." Or I'm not going to kill my child because I don't want to have a child that's going to be hard to bring up or is not an easy time. And I understand. To me, when a baby is conceived, it has a life. And when especially with the heart's beating, it's a life. And to take that away, the women always want to say, "Where's my rights in this? They should have their rights." Well, my question always is where's that baby's rights? The baby never got a choice. The baby didn't choose to be conceived. So, that's my take on it. Where's the baby's rights? As men and women, we have options. We can have abstinence. We can use adoption. We can use protection. So hopefully that doesn't happen, right? Or we can choose to keep it. So we have options. So killing the baby has to be an option. Isn't an ideal concept for me. Once again, you may disagree with me, and that's okay, but that's where I come from. But my point is the power of these elite people, or they perceive themselves elite in Hollywood, that they have so much power, they're so much better than us, they should have the right to tell us how everything goes. And it says here, last year, top studios and actors in Hollywood slammed Georgia for introducing an anti-LGBT bill that said adoption agencies could refuse to place children in gay or lesbian homes due to religious reasons. Now, first of all, that's their choice. I'm not anti-LGBT or anything of that nature. But once again, they have to throw something in this article. It didn't even have anything to do with the headline. It's not even the main thing. It's just to stir up a crow's nest. It says Georgia has become the key state for Hollywood as major producers from Marvel and The Walking Dead film there. And to lose that business would be devastating. The bill ultimately did not pass. And the reason they say this is because what happened is a lot of these actors and actresses are all coming out saying, if this bill passes, we want to boycott and not film there anymore, because they believe they can take away and stop anything if they don't get their way. They're a bunch of screaming babies. It says now Georgia has passed a bill that criminalizes abortion, saying that as soon as a fetus has a heartbeat, think about this. They're not saying, nothing's going on. A heartbeat is there. So after about 6 weeks, women cannot seek abortions because it has a heartbeat. Most women don't even know they're pregnant after 6 weeks. I have a newsflash. Most women would know if they're not pregnant after 6 weeks. Okay, they have a pretty good hunch. You can sort of see when something doesn't happen, when the time of the month is really late, it means there's something happened there. If you go, oh crud, I didn't realize I was pregnant 2 months later, maybe you're not being the most active in checking and paying attention to what's going on with your body. Okay? I mean, let's be honest, and I'm not saying that out of ignorance. I asked my wife this too. I said, how else do you know? And things, or at least have a hunch. The bill also says women who miscarry can be charged for a second-degree murder. And here's the kicker. Are you kidding me? The reason that is because that way, if you do something to force yourself to miscarry on purpose, that's why. Because they knew then they could use that as an escape route. Okay? That was the reason that's there. That's not saying, there was a miscarriage, we're going to put you up for murder. No, that's if you did something to cause a miscarriage because you're trying to skirt the law. Once again, after 6 weeks, the baby has a heartbeat. And it says, and women, women who seek out of state abortions can be punished. Well, yeah, if you live in that state, you abide by where you live. If we wondered when we're going to be, I can't even, it's hard for me to even finish. Once I can't get past something, you'd want to kill something with a heartbeat because it inconveniences you. Now, I know there's other reasons that some people like rape and things, but I'm not getting into that at this point. My point is this. A lot of these people, if it becomes, well, I'm not financially good, or it's going to be hard on me. Who are you really putting ahead? You're putting ahead yourself for selfish reasons, because life might be a little hard because you're having kids, or a lot hard. I mean, let's be honest, it could be very hard. And once again, I'm not coming from a silver spoon background. There was 5 of us living in a 1-bedroom apartment with 2 single beds. That's what we shared. Life was not easy growing up. But my mother never once said, well, I'm not going to have a kid because of it. My mother buckled down and did what she had to do because she was an amazing woman. Continues to say several actors and even the WGA East has taken to Twitter to speak against the bill, given how much money is poured into Georgia via Hollywood. Once again, that's business. That has nothing connection to do with this, but that's how these businesses now want to interject themselves because they think they're so important in Hollywood that they can control government. A boycott in response to this bill would absolutely send a message to politicians that oppressing women is bad for business, which should go without saying, to be frank. So in other words, let's kill babies because it's inconvenient. And it should be okay because that's how we feel. And then goes out giving some tweets on that with George Takei. I stand with Stacey Abrams and so many of my friends in opposition. A bill being considered right now in Georgia that would essentially ban abortion in the state. Georgia residents, please speak out. Let your local representatives know. Once again, okay, if he can voice his concern, absolutely, let your representatives know. But this is one that really bugs me here. Is Alyssa Milano. Beautiful on the outside, heart of darkness in the inside. F this. Wow. Alyssa Milano, I mean, how this person has all the money probably she would ever need and could care for, but she's okay with slaughtering a baby if it's inconvenient. Bravo. Bravo. And the Mary Sue loves stuff like this. Milano also wrote a letter that was signed by around 50 actors, from Don Cheadle to Gabrielle Union, saying that should the bill pass, she was for women and girls in this country. You're scared because you can't kill a baby? I have never seen such a group so happy to and want to kill somebody in my life. Well, maybe Nazis, right? But I mean, tears up because you can't kill kids. Yeah, this is a passionate thing for me. I'm very passionate about this subject. So once again, you are allowed to disagree with me. I'm not going to dislike you necessarily. I'm just sharing my feelings on that. I cannot help but believe somebody would want to kill a baby, something with a life, a human heartbeat, and gets teary-eyed because you can't kill it. What does that say about your heart? I mean, where's the guy in this too, consoling the mother here, saying, "Look, we have this. We have to step up and do something." And this is maybe where I'm going at it more than anything. It's not with say, "Hey, down these." No. It's where's the guy who's got to give here? And as Maverick there says, what does that say about society? And I agree absolutely. Where it's human life is disposable based on inconvenience. Philip's tears and fear are palpable, but they're relatable for many women. But they, a lot of women have found really regret when they've done things like this and look back on it and wish they didn't. Yeah. Shinobi Raccoon says, what does that say about their heart? I'm assuming that these monsters actually have hearts. And you're right, I do. I try to look at the best in people in general and believe that people have great ability to be good. We just have selfishness in our hearts, and we have to learn to quit being so selfish and consider others. As she says in the clip, we could have a normal Tuesday and then be reminded that people are actively trying to police our bodies. No, we just don't want you to murder babies. She also makes an excellent point. Criminalizing abortion won't stop abortion, but keeping it legal will keep women safe. Okay, yeah, I could maybe see that, because if we criminalize it, people are going to go other means that could be more hazardous to the women. Women died before Roe vs. Wade because they could not safely make choices about their own body. No, but it's because we told them they couldn't murder babies. Once again, they love to take that away. Once you separate humanity, it becomes easier to do bad things. That's why they refuse to call a baby at that point a baby. They will have to call it a fetus because they refuse to humanize it. A boycott in Georgia would threaten the livelihoods of those who work for the entertainment industry there, but it might be the only way to enact change outside of taking this to the Supreme Court, which could be the lawmakers' goal considering the court of Republican majority. Well, you know what? If they choose to leave, screw them. Okay? It's just ridiculous. Shinobi Raccoon said, I even saw one jerk-off say if men don't want abortions, then they shouldn't have sex. Like, women don't have the option to say no, or or I don't wish to sleep with you. You're right. And men also have things we can do to help prevent that as well. There's always that. I love how they take away that option. Like, we can't have abstinence, we can't have protection, we don't have adoption. We have lots of options rather than abortion. At this point, it's a matter of women's lives and freedom. Once again, I'm all for women's lives and freedom and things like that. But what happened to, we have our freedom until it infringes on? We want to snuff them out before they even have a chance. If Hollywood wants to say it's liberal and stands for rights, it will have to put its money where its mouth is now. How about put your money where your mouth is, put it in the pockets of people and help them out so they have these kids? Hopefully things will change. Until then, we can take a moment to be afraid for this bill and what it means for women. What it means for women. Be more, up to date, be more current, maybe be more control of your body in the first place. They tend to forget there's reactions to actions. They had a choice in this whole thing. There is repercussions for our behavior. If I go and rob a bank and I get caught, I'm going to jail or prison. Let's be honest there. If you have a kid, there is the repercussions. You will take care of it. And I know I have kids. It's not always easy. It can be very hard. Just crazy. Shinobi Raccoon said these people are just looking for any excuse they can to murder someone. And sometimes I tend to wonder, I've never seen so many people so passionate about a right to kill a baby. This is our Hollywood. If they feel that way, I don't care about giving them my money. So anyways, and then when we get up and we keep pushing back until something changes for the better, there's nothing else we can do. How is that changing for the better? Killing babies is changing for the better. That is our Hollywood, people. This is the Mary Sue and their beliefs. Our Hollywood thinks it's better in our society to be able to kill babies whenever they're inconvenient. How many babies have they killed that could have been the next super important person? The person that could have cured cancer? The next millionaire that could have donated tons of money to something to help children in need? We'll never know because they killed that baby. That baby never had a chance to be what it could have. But yet these are the very people that scream for human rights. But yet they're okay snuffing a life out because it's no longer convenient. I know this video is probably going to garner a lot of hate from some people, and that's okay. Once again, you are allowed to have your opinion. I believe I'm allowed to have mine. My goal is, my opinion boils down to, I don't believe in murder. If you have a problem with that, I think maybe you have to reevaluate your own life. But that's not your thoughts, that's mine. I would love to know your thoughts. Please let me know in the comments. These hypocrites in Hollywood that think that their soapbox, since it's so big, means more than you, that their word has more value than yours does because people watch them on a movie. The double standards are atrocious. These are the same people, once again, that think you shouldn't have a gun to protect yourself, but yet are followed by armed guards protecting them, right? They can have a person full-time hired to take care of their kids and barely have to do anything themselves. But yet the real person that struggles is the person that has to get up every morning. That woman that has to get up, that single mother, because maybe their deadbeat boyfriend took off. That single mother has to get up, go to school to get a better paying job because they can't afford it with the job she has, still work a full-time job and take care of the kids. That's a hero. My mother did that. We had a situation and she left. And she took us kids, and she did. She worked a full-time job, and she went back to school to get, that way she could get a better job. That's a real woman. That's a hero, not the person that says, I'm just going to terminate this kid because it would make my life more convenient. All right, well, I soapboxed enough. I apologize if it came off as more of a rant, but it's something I really just wanted to discuss because I said this is a very, very passionate thing to me. And, and also from somebody that has lost a small child. I'll share this too. I don't get real personal on these things, but before I go, I want to. My wife and I lost our first child. It happens. It was before birth. The it just didn't work out. And to see the small, and it was pretty early on still, but to see that small life there, that's life. That's a baby. There's life there. That's a real eye opener. At least it was another real eye opener to me, and I've never forgotten that kid to this day. And I still wonder what it could have been, what he or she could have been at that point. Well, anyway, I've conversed and rattled and prattled on enough. Thank you for taking this time to be with me. I would love to see your comments on this. If you do like this kind of video, give me a like and leave that comment. I'd like to know your opinion because I don't get this personal on a lot of videos. So, I hope it was appreciated and not hated. Well, thank you for listening. Until next time, keep it frugal.